Welcome to Nebraska Public Media's 2025-2026 UNL Senior Design Project. In this project, we're revisiting our ATSC 3.0 broadcaster application. I'm Jared Hofker. I'm a technology engineer for Nebraska Public Media. And with me, I guess, if you want to introduce yourselves, Smitty.
My name is Dwayne Smith. I'm the Chief Technology Officer here at Nebraska Public Media.
Yeah, and I'm Colin Berkey. I'm the Media Research Analyst here at Nebraska Public Media. Okay, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about who we are as the public media station here locally. Nebraska Public Media, our mission is to enrich lives and engage minds by connecting communities and celebrating Nebraska with services that educate and enlighten. And we have been the local broadcaster here providing original content since 1954. A lot of what we do is focused on engaging Nebraskans through many different platforms, including both broadcast, digital, and other spaces. This includes things like television, radio, online, and mobile platforms. To be clear, this is a real-world software development project that builds on last year's successful implementation of our ATSC 3.0 broadcaster app using the Run3 TV platform. Your participation in this project is going to allow you to contribute to the future of public broadcasting, enhancing interactivity, accessibility, and viewer engagement through our next-gen TV app.
So let's talk a little bit about ATSC 3. So ATSC 3 is marketed as next-gen TV, and it's the new digital television standard that offers several significant improvements over the current 1.0 digital standard. It's got a new physical layer that uses the same sort of modulation as your cell phone uses, which allows enhanced reception, and also like you can be moving and still receive the signal, which is pretty cool. It integrates the latest encoding standards, so you can get 4K HDR, and then it also combines over-the-air broadcast with broadband features. So we can do things like data casting and interactive applications. We'll get better viewer metrics. And then it allows us to deliver more localized content, such as alerts, school closings, weather, and local news can be inserted into a local channel's feed. So a little bit about what is actually in our broadcast signal. We're currently broadcasting ATSC 3 in the Omaha market on channel 26. And what we're doing is broadcasting just a tiny little sliver of data that includes, it tells your TV where to stream the actual live TV feed. And then it also tells the TV, where the application is located on the internet. And all of that is pulled over broadband. The signal can also include alerting, which is something we're going to talk about here really soon. So we're going to take a quick tour of our Nebraska Public Media ATSC 3 broadcaster application. It was designed and built by a senior design team last year, and it's built on the Run3 TV framework, which takes care of like the TV integration layer, so app developers can focus on building what's essentially a web app that overlays the channel's linear content, what you see in the background. We built a section for live that has a good amount of room for expansion. Right now it features World and our two radio stations, classical and jazz. The on-demand section, we divided shows into locally produced and national content. We also built a small content API that allows us to add new shows and episodes as they're released without the need to update the app directly, which is really important. Each show has its own hub page with episode details and descriptions and air dates. Our intent when we were designing this section was to make it a very familiar interface for a modern viewing audience. One of the unique benefits of having an internet connected solution is that we can get a more precise device location, and we can derive your zip code, and then show local weather and alerts. You can see today in Lincoln, we're under a heat advisory. It also offers some other views of upcoming weather, hourly, and we've got a national radar view as well. In the future, we could also use this type of information for things such as road closings or school closings could be displayed in here. This is the Who We Are section, and it has a bunch of static content that describes who Nebraska Public Media is as an organization. It also gives viewers a quick way to point their phone at the screen and connect with us on various platforms. The user guide is really simple. It's a QR code that links to a static PDF, and viewers can pull it up on their phone and then simultaneously read the guide as they interact with the application. And these two sections down here are provided as part of the framework. It's got some privacy information. It allows viewers to select out of sharing personal information. The settings page allows viewers to override their zip code and change some audio preferences, but currently we don't use that in our application, so changing those does nothing. So where are we going to take the project this year? We have 3 big features that we would like to add, and then we have some nice to haves that you can read in our project description as well. We would like to implement the ATSC3 advanced alerting protocol, which allows us to create categories of alerts and severities, and basically interrupt a viewing experience with an alert. So we would like the team to work on implementing this into our application. We'll have to build some sort of an alert module that respects alert duration, expiration, and then we'll have local geographic area filters as well. We also need to implement some sort of a persistent meaning every time you open up the device, you don't have to reset your preferences, allowing users to opt in or out of the different categories. In addition to that, it would be nice to have the ability to set a language preference. It is possible in this new advanced alerting to send multiple languages, and we would likely do English and Spanish. It would also be really nice to have an advanced alerting implementation that allows us to send rich media such as images or videos. Thinking in case of like an Amber Alert, we can send an image of the person.
So the next thing that we would also like to focus on is something that we were unfortunately able to do last semester due to some blockers working with third parties. What we want to do is we also want to focus on data collection from our application so that we can get a better understanding of the reach of this application, the use, and how people engage with it. And so what we're going to strive to do with our Google Analytics implementation are these 4 objectives, excuse me. First, we want to be able to set up out-of-the-box analytics events. So the tech stack that we'll be using for analytics will be Google Analytics using web events or browser events. As part of that solution, there's out-of-the-box analytics that can be set up, which include page view events. So as Jared was walking through the tour, you saw the different areas within the application people can access. We would like to know where people are and where they're exploring within the app. In addition to that, we want to capture media related events. So if somebody presses a play, they stop a video, they pause it. We want to know that information as well. Beyond just the out of the box analytics, we want to go a little bit further and we want to see if we can develop custom event tracking. So as part of this analytics solution, we can also define for ourselves our own data that we would like to collect. And this can include things like content metadata. So what is the title of the content that somebody accessed on demand? Or what is the description? We would like to capture that as well so we can link up data with what people are viewing with what they were kind of engaging with on our platform. In addition to that, we might explore some engagement events. So things that indicate to us further exploration or deeper exploration into the app. These things might be carousel exploration, so switching through the on-demand content, or time spent on event. So maybe somebody's listening to the radio section for more than 2-3 minutes. We might consider that to be an engagement event. In addition to the collection of this, we want to also explore the export of this data to our cloud data warehouse, which is currently Google BigQuery or cloud storage. We would like to explore that export for us so our analytics team here can further work with that data. In addition to that, we would also like to do all of this and configure the solution within the established Google Analytics data model. As part of this analytics solution, what we get is they have their own predefined data model. We would like to make sure that any data that we collect falls within that model. So here's just a little bit of a diagram of what we're looking to do. Basically, we'll have the app, which will collect or which will basically send information to a third-party server managed by Google, specifically Google Analytics. And then from there, what we can do is we will set up an integration inside of the Google environment to our Google BigQuery data warehouse. And we'll set up that integration to pass data between the service and our data warehouse as well. Again, there's just a brief description of what we're looking to collect for app events. That's just basically a summary of what we've discussed previously. But things like open module, view show page, start live stream, start on demand stream, and some nice to haves, which would be play, stop, pause, video or audio content, and maybe some topical metadata.
The third feature we'd like to work on is a TV-friendly game, and we hope this this feature really lets the team access their creativity and have some fun with the project. It needs to be a family-friendly game that reflects the values of Nebraska Public Media, but other than that, we're not really defining what it needs to be or look like. You can see the other requirements here. It needs to be easy to use a TV remote control to control it, so we'd like to avoid things like quick reaction, precise timing. It would be wonderful if this could be single player or engaging for like a group of people sitting around watching someone with the remote. So maybe it has some strategy involved or some thinking where they can discuss what the next step might be. It should also be able to run in a standard browser. That should be really easy because the platform that we're working with is a web platform. But that does mean that we'll probably need to separate out an API and have that live somewhere else separate from the application. We'd like it to support regular content updates, and I think that we'd really like for that to be the chief interaction that people have is like once a day you go in and do the day's content, and that'll keep bringing people back to the application and also to the game. And then we'd like some sort of an anonymous leaderboard. If we're doing scoring in this game, it'd just be nice to hear how you scored compared to other people on a challenge. And this doesn't have to be like a graphic heavy game or anything like that. It could be a word game, anything that you can come up with.
Why this project matters. Your work will help shape the future of Nebraska Public Media, and as a model, this could potentially become adopted by other public media stations across the country. As you know, content is king, and this is an app that provides meaningful content to people in Nebraska and potentially elsewhere. And this has real-world impact for thousands of viewers and listeners across Nebraska, and possibly hundreds of thousands, depending on if this becomes a model that other public broadcasters use. All getting to see your work, including your family and friends. So why this matters, it's important, especially in this moment in time for public media.
Thank you for watching this video and considering our project. We're really excited to work with you.